What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Obviously we're doing this a little late here.
Yeah.
But hey, it's happening nonetheless. Wanted to do it last night, but some stuff came up.
Yeah.
Falcons Texans recap. Stephen Rose, who if you watched my video earlier in the week, checked out his channel. And most of you should know already. We talked about it earlier in the week. And the Falcons yesterday, well, I guess technically it's Tuesday here now. So on Sunday, beat the Texans in a close one, 21-19 here in Atlanta. It was a great game to be at. Nice game for the Falcons. But I just want to first, your initial thoughts about this game, Stephen Rose. Ramajama Taylor, BR, what's up?
Well, I called for this game to be in the mid-20s. Kind of was almost right, 21-19.
I said
right.
26-23. You said 27-24.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be within a field goal, which it was.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about your guys' performance, man?
How do I feel about the game in general?
Yeah.
Well, this was a game that was fought not just in the trenches, but little trickery is what I want to call it.
Oh,
the Atlanta Falcons, was pulling a little wildcat out of their arsenal, which kind of shocked me there. The infamous Drake London pass to Juno Smith was the sort of like, it was kind of surprising because I didn't expect to see that coming, and it threw our defense off. But that ultimately led to y'all's first touchdown drive, which I think was a 7-yard rushing touchdown by Ritter.
Yeah.
And so that sort of opened the floodgate that made it 7-3. But going back before that on our drive that led to the 3 points, a lot of people were calling me nuts, but I said the Texans should have went for it on 4th and 1. And all over Texans radio, they were saying the exact same thing that I was saying. On 4th and inches, I think the Texans should have went for 4th and 1, 4th and inches, 4-down territory. I think in this case, when you're on a drive and you're driving the ball down the field, I think in my opinion, I think D'Amico should have went for it, but he called it to get the 3. I get it, he want the points, but we should have, in my opinion, went for it. I think we would have made it, and it could have extended the drive. I'm not saying it would have been a touchdown, but I just personally, I would have gambled. I would have went for it. But, we ended up kicking the field goal. But to get to, back to that touchdown, the initial touchdown, the first one y'all scored on that drive, you guys were running the Wildcat. Why you guys stopped doing the trick plays after that drive beats me. But it was working on our defense. And why y'all took away from that after the fact, I do not know.
We definitely overall, and the thing is, the trickery, it was spread it in throughout. And this was the game where we opened up the playbook. We did it somewhat against Green Bay, but this was the game you opened up the playbook. This was the game you brought in that trickery that really Arthur Smith's offense can thrive off of. A game where you saw a lot of Scotty Miller in this game for the first time all season. You saw Scotty Miller take a little jet sweep. You saw him get a few catches. That's what you need. He finally opened up this offense, and I really think that's why they were able to have the big day, is because it didn't feel like there were limitations. They were able to go out, and there was more of a variety in what they were doing. And obviously the big story, all that is Desmond Ritter, his first 300-yard game.
Yeah.
The best game of his career, without a shadow of a doubt, if you watched it so far.
Yeah. He also had a better game than Stroud did. He had almost 100 yards more, and his accuracy, completion rate ratio, I mean, his pass attempts versus his completion ratio was a lot better too than Stroud's.
I'll say this. I don't think C.J. Stroud had necessarily a bad game. I just think he went up against a very solid secondary.
Yeah, of course.
And the thing with Ritter that I'll say is he definitely – this was a shadow of a doubt, the best game of his career. And this is one you really gives you a lot of hope with him. Because he had to come out after these last few games and respond. And I was really one of those. I'm just like, get the ball in the hands of the players, which was absolutely insane how he went to his hip and then it went to his back. And then, I mean, that you want to talk about a guy who's a superstar, that is who Bijan Robinson is, and he made that play on Sunday. But really, the game for the longest time, it felt like it was 9-7, 12-7 in favor of Houston, and you're just okay. When is this? This can't be happening 3 straight weeks.
Yep.
The defense is just stalling, and a big reason why it stalled was because in the third quarter there was 2 fumbles. I believe both of them happened in the third quarter. One by Bijan
Robinson, yeah.
The other one by Jonnu Smith. So those were, and we won the game, but that's definitely where you could have had points. And even though, I mean, our defense, they did a great job of holding you guys there.
Yep.
So
yeah, you got to give hats off to the Atlanta Falcons defense for contesting C.J. Stroud, forcing him to throw off his back foot. Usually he scrambles out of the pocket and he sort of like flings it to an open receiver. This time y'all were forcing him to backpedal and throwing it off the back foot. And I kind of saw that multiple times throughout the game, and he looked very uncomfortable. And I was like, wow, okay, so Atlanta's defense is just contesting C.J. Stroud to have to throw off the back foot, and that's exactly what they did. And like I said, he didn't have a turnover. I think y'all almost did have a pick. One play y'all should have had a pick.
Oh, yeah, Jesse Bates should have had a pick.
Yeah, and that should have technically been the first pick. But, man, the Atlanta Falcons defense was just, I felt like if you were to ask me from a grade standpoint, I think they had maybe a B-, maybe a C+. And the only reason why I say that is because, well, I'm going to say a B+. Because
you
I'm going to say that
because here's the thing, the touchdown given up in the end, which really, I mean, even though, yes, it was the only one we gave up all day. But even at that, you still have to hold up at those. But overall, throughout the game, you did amazing. That's the only touchdown you allowed all day, and it was at the very end of the game.
Yep.
Here's the thing I will say. It seemed like when we went into a lot of that zone coverage and we just left the middle of that, that's really what killed us. When C.J. Stroud, you left the middle of the field open for him, he was able to get it to a Dalton Schultz, able to get it to those different weapons that y'all had. And that is really where he was able to do his damage. But when we were playing man, now that touchdown Dalton Schultz had was in man coverage. But outside of that, we really locked you guys down throughout the game.
And really, to tell you the truth, the only reason why I think Danny Schultz had that touchdown is the same argument that the Texans had when B.J. Robinson had his. I think both defenses started getting really gassed out.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And I think that's when fatigue started hitting a factor for both the defensive side of the ball. And so you were kind of bound to give up a touchdown. There was a lot of 3-and-outs. And, the Texans did get some rest, don't get me wrong, and so did the Falcons after halftime. But I just knew eventually the defense was going to get gassed out.
And, man, another thing, too, was the final drive by Ritter, which he went 5 for 5, 44 yards. It looked flawless. It straight up, you were – honestly, I'm very nervous. It's not that I think he's going to screw up. I'm just nervous.
Yeah.
He looked as cool as a cucumber back there. I mean, it's just like he was just getting it out. He was distributing the ball. Okay, give it to Bijan. Give it to Drake. Run out of bounds for a nice 5-yard gain. He looked like a poised veteran quarterback on that final drive, getting that ball to Drake London to get us into field goal range. I mean, it's just like it looked like no effort at all, and it's so hard going through my mind, like, how does he do that, especially after these last few weeks where this guy looked – we were even questioning, is he our guy? And he comes out this week, and he puts together a final drive like that. That is where you earn your money, though. And give a shout-out to Desmond Ritter because – and you also acknowledge the fact your defense was worn out and fatigued. But, man, the offense came through and had the defense's back.
Oh my God! And especially that one catch that Drake London had where the helmet comes off.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
that
man.
one?
That's my new
Oh my
profile
God!
pic.
That was probably the best catch of the game.
Oh, definitely.
And to be honest, well, and to take it back, I think to the first quarter when Juno Smith, they were going to him and Kyle Pitts a lot. But there was one play where, like, I think Juno Smith was cutting up the middle and he dropped a wide open pass. And they're like, Eric Murray disrupted the pass. I'm like, no, he didn't. Because like you clearly see on the replay, Eric Murray was like a yard and a half from him. He just clearly dropped the pass. That would have extended the chains and moved the first down. I think Atlanta would have scored on that drive too.
Oh,
And that
yeah.
possibly
Yeah.
could have
No,
took 7 points off the board just because of the momentum you guys were targeting those tight ends. And remember what you said in the preview, and I want to give you a shout out for this. You said that we have a lot of big tight ends be expecting to go to Kyle Pitts, which you called that. You said Juno Smith possibly may be targeted. You said this is going to be some jump ball scenarios where we may expose the Texans secondary as being, 5'10", 5'11", and 5'9", guys 5'9" to 5'11" in height.
Especially that
Your
Drake
guys
London
are coming in
catch.
at 6'4", and that's when you called it, those jump ball scenarios. You called the NBA. You guys were you were exposing those mismatches, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're in those kind of situations.
Where are you hiding? I thought the Phillies were winning in 3. That's all I gotta say. We can talk about a little bit of baseball too, because don't let Rangers play. Well, later today, I guess.
We play. Well, yeah, we play the Orioles game 3 in Texas.
Oh, yeah, y'all are getting ready
to stadium for the first time. We got a home playoff game in the new stadium.
Y'all might sweep the Orioles.
I hope so. Diamondbacks may sweep the Dodgers.
Hey, they might. He's wearing a tough one with Philadelphia. But where are you hiding? I told you this. Braves in 5. And so you know who I said hi. But anyways, really getting it. Yeah, those jump ball scenarios, and that's really where you're looking at a Drake London. You're looking at a Kyle. He finally got Kyle Pitts involved in this game, and you could really tell this offense. This was the game we came together, and we showed what we can be as an offense.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
It's time to build off of that. And really, you have to give credit. CJ Stroud did not play a bad game. He probably played, I would dare to say, maybe as good of a game as any quarterback has played versus us this year. I mean, Jordan Love had a nice game versus us. Obviously, Bryce Young did not have a good game. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, it was an average game, but, I mean, it's not like quarterbacks have had flat-out awful games versus us other than Bryce Young, but they're not having really good. They're having average to maybe even you could say below average games. Jared Goff didn't have the best game versus us. So I would probably say CJ Stroud, even though, yes, you really got him fluttered a lot, he still got the ball into his playmaker's hands at times when you gave him the opportunity. Here's one thing about CJ Stroud. You give him the slightest open in that window, he's going to take it. And we didn't give him any. I mean, even though, yes, that vertical, the Dalton Schultz touchdown, it was a vertical down straight to the end zone. Really, other than that, we didn't give him an opportunity for many of those deep balls today. But if you give CJ Stroud an opportunity to do that damage in the middle of the field or deep down the field, he's going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I didn't even know who Desmond Ridder was, to be fair. And I kind of underestimated him a lot. And to be honest with you, now I got to understand who he is. And he's a damn good quarterback. Great mechanics. Read the defense as well. He just needs more experience. But I think he's going to be the guy going into the future for the Atlanta Falcons. And I was saying, maybe we should trade for Justin Fields, or y'all should trade for Justin Fields. Guys, the only reason why I said that is because I didn't know who Desmond Ridder was. But after this game that I saw, he's definitely the guy of the future for you guys. Honestly, I think he just needs more time to congeal with the offense, get the cohesion, get the and build the morale, and just get that experience. But I think he can be the next Matt Ryan, or maybe the next Mike Vick, or
I don't think he's the next Mike Vick. I think he's Matt. Honestly, to me, at Desmond, and I'll say this. I think Ritter has shown potential. Now you want him to build off of this. This can't just be a flash in the pan here and there. He has to build off of this and become consistent with this. But you like what you saw today from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he is definitely more of a Matt Ryan, with a little bit of Michael Vick sprinkled in.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not even as elusive and as explosive as Michael Vick. He's really just a more mobile Matt Ryan.
Oh yeah, more of a mobile Matt Ryan. I would probably give him the comparison to that. You were at the game, and yes. I'm pretty sure. What was your experience like there?
Oh, it was amazing. It was absolute. Listen, I met up with people. I met Terrence Mathis. I met the guy who made who was at the draft for us. He was the Falcons fan at the draft. He said 28-3. Oh, we've heard that before. That guy.
Oh yeah.
I met him. I got a picture with him, and I met Augusta Gator, who I don't know if you know who Augusta Gator is.
I know who Augusta Gator is.
I met him at the game too. He was there with his son. So yeah, it was a great day, and the Falcons win obviously was the best part about it. For the longest time, honestly, though, it was demoralizing because you're like, okay, the offense got it going the opening drive, but they haven't been able to get it going since. And we just had these drive killers. The Jonnu Smith drop, he was just running right downfield. He didn't even, I think, stop to look at the football because he was ready to fly downfield for the touchdown, to be honest. He thought he had his man beat.
No, are you referring to the one where he dropped the pass on when he was on the third down?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Got you. What about Kyle Pitts? I know we haven't really talked about him, but I like Kyle Pitts too.
I'll say this about Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
I like Kyle Pitts on Sunday. He looked more and more like they were getting him involved, and he was making the catches when they asked him to, which I was happy to see.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who's even, I'm not going to lie, thought about, well, if you're not going to use Kyle Pitts, or maybe even Kyle Pitts, he's not fully checked into the system, why have him here? But you definitely show, because Kyle Pitts is not 100% either, and you have to keep that into account. So with that being said, if you can continue to just phase him back in and he can everyone, this is a win in a game the offense can grow off of, particularly that passing game. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Desmond Ritter especially, you name it. This is a game you build off of, I think, for the Falcons. We needed this game, and looking back at it now in the post game, we needed it even more, realizing now. Because this is a game where you can really turn a corner with your passing offense and can accommodate that dominant run game we have.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you feel about the Texans going forward?
Well, like I said, I understand, we want to win. And I was telling Texans fans, look, listen, I had this team winning 3 to 5 games this year, assuming it was going to be Davis Mills. But C.J. Stroud was named the starter. I said he wasn't NFL ready. Obviously, I was wrong. I think he is NFL ready. I still think that it's going to take us about a year or two to congeal and be a contender. I think this year we're looking at, maybe between 6 and 8 wins with C.J. Stroud. I think we'll probably be just right out of the wild card hunt, or maybe the last spot. Just depends on how the rest of the teams. I still think Jacksonville is going to be the division winner out of the 4. I think the Colts will come in second. Huh?
They look good this week in Jacksonville.
Oh, they got a big win against Buffalo, which,
big win.
Yeah.
And Andy, man, the thing is, man, that's going to kill them. AR-15 can't stay healthy for a damn already. Because and And I like what Indy's building, but man, he cannot stay healthy. I mean, what and honestly, it's the stupid shit he's doing. He's trying to make the play instead of do what is smart.
Smart,
and
yeah.
That is how you kill your career. You can have all the talent in the world, but it's how you play. It's your football IQ. So
Absolutely.
I agree with you. I definitely think Jacksonville is probably winning that division. I think it could definitely alternate between the Texans and Colts, second and third. Maybe even, I don't know. Maybe Tennessee doesn't finish last. I still think all of you guys, it's really still outside of Jacksonville. After that, who knows? But
yeah, it's a crapshoot, like crabs in a bucket. It's going to come down to matchups and all that. Yeah.
For the future, and we can even talk next year, because are the Texans in a nice spot with their salary cap?
Wait, are you saying do we have a salary cap?
No. Are y'all? What is y'all's position as far as y'all's salary cap goes? Like,
are we over or under? Is what you're asking? We're still way under our salary cap. I think we're like 15 or 20 million under our salary cap.
And do y'all have a lot of money to play with next offseason?
Yeah, we do. We could probably get one big marquee free agent.
Y'all are going to be able to contend with Jacksonville at the rate it's going next season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, you already have the weapons. You have CJ Stroud. Really, just one big addition. Really, to me, I would probably say that secondary.
Yeah.
And then get some other additions here and there. You guys are going to be ready to be contenders next season. Because you got to give you guys credit, man. Y'all came in here and y'all gave us a fight. You didn't just lay down. You gave us the fight. And you got
to be fair, and to be fair, the same with the Falcons. I mean, you guys could have just laid down and just allowed us to score touchdowns in that red zone. And just could have let the game get out of hand, but your defense was stingy. Your defense was stingy, not saying, hey, look, we'll give you the threes all day, but we're not going to give you the 7. Even with the turnovers, you would assume Atlanta's defense would be like, well, if you guys are going to fumble the ball, F this, we're not going to try anymore. I'm tired of being on the field. You know, it's kind of one of those things where defense could be very diluted. But again, you guys still was stingy about it. You said, we'll give you the 3, but we're not going to give you 7. And all these red zone trips, 1 touchdown, I mean, that was enough said, you know. And the one thing that Atlanta capitalized on was no matter even the turnovers y'all made, like, for example, Jim Robinson fumbled the ball, right? But he made it up later with a touchdown. And so he kind of made up for that. He made up for that turnover. And like I said, even though Atlanta's defense was gassed out, at least the Falcons were left with what I think $137, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
I think y'all had a minute and 37 or a minute and 17. It was one of the two. I forgot.
It was like a minute and 49 seconds.
Yeah. Like you had you had about around there. And I said, well, that's enough for Desmond Ridder to create, to make something happen.
Oh, definitely.
And I think you still had 2 timeouts, I think, at that time. So, I mean, you guys had the field. You had your 2-minute offense. We were really going to see what Desmond Ridder was made of. I knew when we took the lead and I saw the clock, I'm like, we're probably going to lose. And I knew at that point, because I'm like, I think we left Atlanta too much time. Our defense is gassed out. Atlanta's playing for a field goal. They're not playing for the touchdown. I'm like, yeah, you got to make 75 yards down the field, because I think we kicked it in the touchback. But I'm like, it's 75, but you don't need 75. You only need maybe 45 of those 75 yards. So you only need to work the field, 45 yards for your kicker to make, right? He's got to be inside the 35 or something like that. And so I knew right then and there, I said, oh shit, they got a lot of time. 2-minute offense. We're going to see what Desmond Ridder's all about. We knew what CJ Stroud was going to have to offer. That's what I told you in that pregame when we were talking. I said, we can sit here and talk about CJ Stroud all day, but I really want to see what Desmond Ridder is all about. And for him to lead a game-winning drive like that,
this was Desmond Ridder's defining moment.
Exactly, and I think now I know who Desmond Ridder is after this game, and what he's capable of. He's got a game-winning drive that led to a field goal. That's going to give him a lot of confidence going in the rest of the way of the season.
Well,
and
I think you're looking at it this way. You obviously, I'm going to continue to say it. Build off of this victory. Do what you need to do. But you like the direction it's heading in, certainty. Our next few games, it does not get any easier. Washington this Sunday, who, yes, they just, crapped the bed for Chicago on Thursday night, but also they still have a hungry and feisty front four that can wreak havoc. So Desmond Ritter's going to have his hands full with that. Tampa Bay, who are the leaders in the NFC South. Tennessee, who they can be a stingy team. Minnesota, but Minnesota, they can have a good offense, not so much of a good defense.
I think Washington this week is a very winnable game for you guys.
It definitely is a very winnable game.
You're also 3-0 at home, so that helps. And
we don't see, this is the thing, Desmond Ritter has not lost at home yet.
And like I said, just don't do like Pittsburgh does and play down to their competition. But I think this is another game where Desmond Ritter could possibly throw for 300 yards. And
I don't
maybe
know about that, but I definitely think this is a game where you see, because listen, they feasted all over that Washington defense. If you can now, some of that definitely was just all, but if you can find those mismatches and exploit Washington that way,
okay,
then you can definitely you will definitely win this game that way. This is probably going to be another stingy type of ball game to me. But ultimately, I think the Falcons will make the plays needed to win this game.
Let's call a score. I'm going to say 28-20 Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to say 19-14 Atlanta wins.
Okay.
Which I'll have my whole prediction video up tomorrow, my weekly picks. So you can go ahead and lock that in tomorrow.
Like I said, you got 3-0
picks this week.
I think I won 7 games. I think I won 7 and 8.
I went. Wait a minute. No, there was 7 and 7 because there was only 14 games this week.
No. I went. I think I went 6 and 8 because I didn't win the Monday night game. I picked Green Bay and I thought they were going to win, but it was the Raiders.
Green Bay too. I went.
Only 30 people picked the Raiders out of 125.
That's how many are in your tournament?
Yeah, 125 people.
Man, you got a lot of work to do when calculating that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I got 113 men. I got 12 women. It's 125. It was like in the 130s, but people started dropping out because of whatever reasons. I'm sure. And that tends to happen, So
I'm sure you're going to, after this, you'll probably get
I've already graded picks. I've graded picks. I've already graded the picks. I just didn't plug in the Monday night game. I do that on Sunday. After the Sunday night games, I start grading the picks by hand.
Smart to do.
And then when I wake up Monday morning, I type it on the computer, and then that saves my labor time for after. And then I just wait for Monday Night Football and plug in the one. That's it.
Yeah, just like check it out. How did you describe it a few weeks ago? Like a school professor?
Excuse me?
How'd you describe it doing all that? Like you were some school professor grading picks?
Yeah, grading picks. It takes 3 hours after all the picks are done for 125 plus people. Well, 125 now. It takes about to do the rough draft, you're looking at about an hour to grade picks. And then to type it up on the computer, you're looking at probably about another hour and a half. And then to plug in the Monday night game and to plug it into the other sheet to see how to show the records for just how they did for that week. That takes about that don't take that long to plug in the one. If I go
Brandon Rogers
20 minutes, look, you're looking at 3 hours.
VR wants on. So the Cowboys, honestly, I think if Jerry were to get rid of Dak, he's going to want a quarterback in the draft.
Oh yeah,
probably. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think the same thing too.
But does McCarthy really want to develop one at his age? I mean,
is McCarthy?
Yeah, that too.
That was the same thing that I said with the Seahawks this draft. I was like, Pete isn't bringing in a guy to fucking develop at his age. Like, yes, I would have. Well, I was a fan of Richardson or Stroud or whoever, but I was all good upgrading the defense. That's what plagued us in the playoffs last year, so I was fine with it. But yeah, the quarterback talk with these old coaches, it just don't make sense. And I was surprised New England took one Mac. Mac's another one that'll probably be out of there too.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe he's having a bad Belichick is out of there this year.
I think this should be probably.
But you think Belichick's going to get fired? Really trying to sabotage them.
Give Patricia the job. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
What the hell do you give the job?
I mean, shit. If McDaniels gets fired from Vegas, you can bring him back.
Yeah, you could.
No.
But see, it's looking like they're a whole lot closer to Drake May and Caleb Williams versus playoffs.
Hey, you know what's funny if the Patriots fire Bill Belichick and then he goes to Dallas?
Damn, that's actually wow. I didn't think of that.
That might actually happen. I don't think that's just one of those that could happen.
I mean, Bill doesn't need to coach, so he's old as fuck. He can just go sit on the beach in Cabo and raise a glass.
Get the record for the most winningest coach of all time.
See, I don't even know how many years Pete has left. I think Bill's 17 wins away or 15, something like that.
Who's got the all-time record?
It's Shula.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Bill's going to get it this year.
No, he won't get it this year.
Well, I'll tell you what,
he's probably going to have to win maybe at least 5 games this year, and then maybe to get a stab at it maybe next year.
Well, you got to think there's probably going to be openings in the Chargers, Cleveland, New England. That's the AFC side. NFC, man. I don't know.
Dallas.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Bet the power's back on.
Maybe Carolina or New Orleans.
Man, what did y'all think of that?
You think Carolina? Carolina ain't bailing.
Listen, if Frank Reich, if this goes absolutely awful this year with Frank Reich, they could consider it. I don't know if they will. I think he gets at least another year, but they could consider it if this thing ends absolutely awful.
I don't see them going off of Frank. No shot.
They're definitely getting ready to fire that GM, though.
Hey, Brandon, I know this is kind of reaching, but do you think Geno Smith should get an extension with the Seahawks? I mean, he's doing pretty good.
He already got one.
Really? How many years y'all gave him?
3.
3, right?
Oh, I think he's earned every bit of it, too.
I'm fucking pissed right now, bro. I would kill to have a quarterback. I don't want to have this fucking punk, bro. He's a Mahomes wannabe.
Who do y'all have next week?
Denver.
Oh, shit. Y'all got Denver next week?
No, we're losing that game.
No, wait a minute. Y'all don't.
Wait. What was Jordan Love's numbers today? You know his numbers?
No touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and like 182 yards.
Okay, so he had a bad game today.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he did.
What the hell? That shows you how bad the Raiders are, though. They got 3 interceptions and only won by 4.
Yep.
Bro, we're worse than the Raiders, dog. This game proved it.
They did lose.
This game proved it. We're worse than the Panthers are too.
Y'all ain't worse than Carolina.
Yeah, we are, bro. Carolina.
Wait, so are you saying that Arizona's better than y'all too?
Houston is better than us.
No, I said Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona is too.
Nah, you reaching now.
At least Josh Dobbs didn't throw 3 fucking interceptions.
And Carolina ain't won a fucking game yet.
Look, when Green Bay stomps a mud hole in Denver's ass next week, it'll make you feel better.
No, I'm not celebrating, bro. I'm to the point of boycotting this shit, bro. Because it's the same heartbreaking, fashionable. It's the same way we're losing.
Goddamn, so unknown. Let me ask you something. So you're saying you're going on strike like all these Panthers fans are saying?
Yeah, he's gonna go on strike like when A-Bomb did when the fucking 49ers had Chip Kelly and Jim Tom Sewell or whatever the fuck.
Bro, I'm sick of this shit, bro. And you know what? The Lions are gonna run our division, bro. The Lions.
Well, we knew that.
The Lions are going to sweep us. The Vikings are going to sweep us. The Bears are going to get that win at the final week of the season.
No, they're not. Y'all split with Minnesota. Yeah, y'all probably get swept by Detroit, but yeah.
I can't stand this shit, bro. It's painful.
I'll say this: who do y'all think could hang with Philadelphia and San Francisco in the NFC, if anyone?
I want Philly to win, bro.
Okay, I'm not being biased, but it is Detroit and Seattle.
Yeah, definitely.
Those are the only two. Like the outside of Detroit and Seattle, the field in the NFC, obviously Eagles, Niners at the top, but the field in the NFC is pretty subpar.
Here's how I put the NFC, to be honest with you. I'd say, okay, Eagles and Niners no doubt at the top. Detroit, I would definitely probably say is in the middle between that second tier.
So you think they'll be the third seed then?
Yes, they are the third best team.
Well, I'll tell you what, in terms though of ranking, you have to put us over Detroit because we beat them head to head. We have
we're going by the top 4 division winners.
Oh yeah, I know, I got you.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
overall.
Now who do you got for the NFC South representative? I'm going with New Orleans.
That'll be the Falcons.
I'm going.
It better not be. I'm not being down $100 to Slitta. Fuck that. Y'all can get the wild card.
It was
Slitta
football.
Slitta's a faggot.
Well, no, I bet Shine. I bet Shine as well, but I took that bet with Slitta as well.
Oh shit! Y'all bet on the division.
So yeah, me and Slitta got the division. Shine, me and Shine have. Shine and I have the Seahawks finish better than the Falcons.
Now you could definitely maybe win that.
I'll even be the one to try to consider betting that the Broncos will have a better record.
Well, dude, I'll tell you what though, Rise Up, you guys got a tough game this week. Commanders going to look for that bounce back.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
it's any given Sunday. That's what I've learned. Nothing's guaranteed.
Not easy throughout. We got Tampa Bay, which is why I say whoever wins this division one way or another is ending up at most 10 wins. 9 wins you this division.
I agree. I think 9 and 8 wins the AFC South. So
and the NFC South.
That's why Jacksonville only needs to win 9 games.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I said it before the season. I said Indy was going to finish second, but I don't know. I thought Tennessee was going to be dog water.
Indy looks good. You know, Indy reminds me of Seattle. Like with Geno Smith, the same with Gardner Minshew.
Every team in the NFL looks better than the Packers. I'm telling you.
Oh my god, we don't. The Panthers haven't won a game.
The Panthers are a better team than we are, bro.
No, they don't. The Panthers
the Vikings are a much better team than we are.
Arizona looks like complete trash.
Arizona looks better than we.
Nah, I disagree. Arizona looks like garbage.
The Giants suck.
I'll tell you what, though.
Oh yeah, we forgot the Giants.
When Arizona comes up to Seattle in a couple weeks, don't be shocked if Arizona wins. That is a trap game written all over it.
And look at how Arizona's been playing.
Yep, exactly.
Man, they're playing with heart. They don't got talent, but they're playing with heart.
I would trade Jordan Love away for what's his name, Drew Lock.
Oh, okay. Everybody in the panel, we'll go one by one. Who do y'all got as right now currently as your best team, and who do you got as your worst team? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'll say best team. Yeah, I'll say. Well, let's see. I'll say
you have to pick one. You can only pick one.
I'll say San Francisco as the best team. Worst team. Oh shit! I'll go Carolina because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
All right, I guess I'll go next. Well, best team, I'm gonna go the Niners. I don't think anybody's debating that. And then the worst team, I'm gonna go with shithole Arizona, because I think despite that one win they got against Dallas, they're just terrible. All right, who wants to go next? Brandon?
Sadly, it's the Niners, and then I'll go. Denver might be the worst team, honestly.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna pick the Giants.
It's Denver, the Giants, Commanders. One of them. I don't know.
Okay, how about this? Oh yeah, and then of course
Panthers.
Saddam. Okay, Saddam Hussein, your turn. Best team, worst team.
Packers.
Best team has to be the Lions. Worst team has to be the Packers.
Okay, how about this? Okay, this is a good one. Marvin said, "Who do y'all got as your most overrated team and most underrated team?" That's after week 5. Okay, that's going to be a good one. Who wants to go first on that one? Most overrated team, most underrated team.
I'll go first, man.
All right, I'll go second after you.
Overrated? God damn! I mean, who is there? Ooh, I'm just thinking by division right now. Oh, definitely Dallas, without a shadow of a doubt. Dallas.
I don't think anyone's overrating Dallas anymore, though.
Yeah,
I'll take Detroit and for overrated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because y'all beat them.
Okay, tell me, Detroit has beaten up on these lousy teams. Now, then again, yeah. I know they can't control their schedule. We got to win those games. Yeah. But when they play top dogs, are we sure they're going to win?
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point to make.
Listen, I'm not trying to discredit anything Detroit has done. They're a great story year in, year out, but you know, they don't beat the top dogs when they need to. Look at they played us. What was it, week 2?
And y'all beat them in Detroit too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, when they play top teams, I guess they did beat Kansas City, whatever, without Kelsey, without Jones. But, you know, still.
I like Zach Wilson, bro. At least he takes responsibility.
Okay, who do you got as your underrated team? Seattle, probably?
I mean, I don't think we're underrated anymore. Last year we were underrated. I'll go underrated team. Let's go. Let's go Indy. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say overrated team for me. Let's see. I have to think about this one because there's a couple of teams that come in mind, but I have to pick one. You know, I'm gonna say overrated is the Minnesota Vikings. Like I said, they were very overrated this year, especially like with Jefferson and all that. Underrated, very underrated team. Huh. Underrated. I gotta go. Underrated. Who's currently underrated right now? I'm gonna say the Miami Dolphins. Fuck it.
No, I don't think anyone's underrating them. I didn't get to. I said overrated Dallas. I'm not gonna say the Falcons underrated. I'm gonna go with someone different. Ooh,
nice.
I really want to go with. And I'm looking at this thing. I'm not gonna go with us. Ooh, I mean, who really is there to say underrated? I mean, I'll go with I'll go with Cleveland.
Cleveland, okay.
Just kind of throwing it out. I'll go with Cleveland.
All right. What about you, Unknown? Who do you got as your most overrated, underrated team?
Overrated got to be probably
the Packers.
No, not the Packers. It's probably got to be Miami, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. An underrated team got to be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, nice.